is maxillofacial instruments by Dr. Pratik from BJ Medical College, Ahmedabad, student of Dr. Jayesh P. Sachdev and Sheikh. Dr. Sheikh.
Hello. Good evening,
Hey,
sir.
Pratik.
Good evening, sir. I'm presenting the instrument for the faciomyxillary injury. Next slide, please. The instrument, first of all, the instrument for the closed nasal reduction, which includes mainly the HS forceps and the Welsham's forceps. Next slide. The Welsham's forceps is used for the reduction of the fractured nasal bone, and it is named after Dr. William Welsam, and it is a paired instrument and two straight blades. It's one blade is wider and the other one is small, and there is no gap. The main unique feature of this instrument is there is no gap between the blades once it is closed. Next slide. So the wider plate, the wider part of this instrument is to be kept outside or at the skin surface. So it is covered with a rubber tube to protect the skin, and it helps to grip the side of the nose up to the medial canthus and parallel to the frontal process of the maxillary bone. The wider part also helps to identify the laterality of the instrument, as when we kept this instrument over the table, the wider part convexity is always faced upwards. So the direction, the rotation of this instrument is medially and laterally, and will affect the either in or out fracture of the nasal bone. The Welsam forceps is a class 2 lever. Next slide. As well as the HS forceps, it is also a class 2 lever with two blades. It is named after the Maurice Joseph Ashe. It is a single angulated forceps with two blades are of similar length. It is angulated so as to it goes along the nasal floor. It has a unique feature that a gap persists even between the two blades, even when the instrument is when it is to prevent the crushing of the septal cartilage. Next. The HS forceps is used for the nasal septum reduction and evacuation of the septal hematoma, and during it is placed obliquely and parallel to the vomer bone. Once it is grasped and lifted up and placed, the septum cartilage is placed in the vomerine groove. At the same time, the septal cartilage is squeezed between its blades to get rid of the hematoma also. Next. As for the maxillary disinfection forceps, we have two: the Rose disinfection forceps and the Huyton-Williams forceps. Next. The Rose disinfection forceps is made of the stainless steel. It is side specific and it has two prongs. The straight prong fits into the nasal floor, and the other one fits into the palatal cavity. The parts, the handle, shanks, and the blades. The shanks of the Rose disinfection forceps are cranked to allow the handles of both the instrument to be grasped simultaneously when blades are positioned correctly in the respective cavity. Next, the direction of the movement of the forceps is the when we move the forceps upwards, it is to disinfect the maxilla from the pterygoids, and downward and forward movements mobilize the maxilla. The additional rocking and rotational movements may be necessary to facilitate the final disinfection of the maxilla. Next. As per Huyton-Williams forceps, it is designed by the Huyton-Williams, and the parts are the handle, shanks, blades, and screw. Next. It is used to reduce the mid-palatal split of the maxilla and applied on the buccal aspect of the alveolar process. The medial compression is exerted until the two halves are approximated. Once the two halves of this forceps is approximated, the screw is adjusted to prevent the further crushing of the bone. This is the way to stabilize the maxillary block, and then the same time we can use the Rose forceps to maxillary disinfections. Next. For the Zygoma elevator instruments, we have the Bristow's, the Rose modification, the Dingman, and the Carol Gerard screw. Next. For the Bristow Zygoma elevator, it's a class 1 lever which is used for the zygoma and zygomatic arch fracture. It is named after Sir Walter Rowley Bristow, who is the orthopedic surgeon. It has a single blade, and the handle and the fulcrum is created at the site of the incision. Whereas the Rose modification, it has the two arms in the Rose for elevator. The other arm provide the shifting of the fulcrum to the from the incision site to avoid the skin damage and damage to the petrous part of the temporal bone. Next. For other instrument used for the zygoma elevation is the Carroll Girard screw, the Dingman, the Taylor-Monks elevator, and the Pozzillo's zygoma hook. Next. The instrument used for the mandibular surgery is mainly the arch bar, the stainless steel wire, screw holder, arch bar cutter, eyelets, and the mini plates and screw and leg screws. Next. The arch bar are made of stainless steel alloy, which is 316L type. It has low carbon content to prevent the carbide formation and the high nickel content to increase the strength of the indication of the arch bar is the dentoalveolar fracture, middle one-third facial fracture, and intermaxillary fixation, and the temporary stabilization in the emergency condition. Next. The mini plate, the term mini plate is a generic term. All the plates which are of plate thickness of 1.3 mm are referred to as the mini plates. The profile of the plate is related to the plate thickness, and the monocortical screw as well as bicortical screw are used for the mini plates. Next. For the fracture fixation system in the mandible, we have the load bearing system. The example of the load bearing system is the reconstruction plate, which provides the sufficient strength and the rigidity that can bear the entire load applied to at the time of the mastication. Then the load bearing system, it has the mini plates and the leg screw. They provide the insufficient stability to bear all the functional loads and across the fracture by the masticatory system. Next. This is the Champy's principle for the mandibular ideal line of the osteosynthesis. Champy says the forces of mastication produces tensional forces over the upper border and the compression forces over the lower border of the mandible. And as per the Champy's principle, there are two plates for the symphysial fracture stabilization and one along the oblique ridge of the mandible angle, one for the mandible angle. Next. These are the various plates used in the maxillofacial surgery. As per the buttress system, we use the L plate for the maxilla stabilization and the reconstruction plate, and other Y plate for the nasal bone stabilization. Next. Type of screw, there are two types of screw, self tapping screw and the self drilling screw. For the screw, the head diameter is the mainly used for the nomenclature of the screw, and the core diameter is used for the drill during the intraoperative drill size, and the outer diameter is the thread diameter. Next. Leg screw osteosynthesis, it is carried out mainly the load shearing system. It is carried out to more evenly distribute compressive force between the segments and resulting in excellent stability and minimal splay. Yes, sir.
Over.
Yes, sir.
Instruments are over, sir.
Okay, so this group of set of equipment comes under the category of must to know, like skin grafting and then the palate equipment and the maxillofacial equipment. Now,
Yes,
even
sir.
if you don't have those surgery going on or facilities not there, but somehow you have to learn, and you can classify this equipment which may be given one of that. Suppose maxillofacial means right from the zygoma equipment, then maxilla equipment, then nasal bone fracture equipment, mandible. So, for example, I will give you some important questions or the commonly asked thing. Like suppose zygoma is, you have given the Bristow's elevator, then examiner will ask you, okay, tell me the anatomy, and then he will ask you Gillies approach, the fracture, how the patient will present. So like that, each bone is important. Suppose maxilla is there, then the examiner will ask you how you will manage Lee-Ford fractures, draw the diagram of Lee-Ford, various lines, nasal bone fracture. As you have shown the rocking movement, they will actually ask you how to insert. There may be a skull available on the table, and they will ask you to insert, how you will put the Rowe Williams forceps, and how you will reduce the maxillary disimpaction, how exactly you do it. Whether you have seen it or you know it, either way you have to tell. mandible is most important, right from his anatomy, blood supply, and various fracture classification, TMJ ankylosis. So Viva can go anywhere. They can ask you to mark it on the skull also. Please draw. So henceforth, this group of equipments are very, very important, and there are endless questions related to each bone or suppose pen facial fracture is there. How you will manage? How you will? What are the breathing problem, immediate problem, late problem? So I think I don't expect you to answer all those questions, but I'm sensitizing you and informing you that this is a very important set of equipment which you may be and you must know it. Dr. Atul, what do you say?
Yeah, I think this is an extensive topic, and it is we cannot ask questions on it. But what I can guide is, so rather than looking for the books and the journals, simply go to a CMF site. Everything is given in the latest and systematic manner, and starting from the basic concept, how would you fix, and if possible, attend the principles CMF course. Otherwise, online literature is available, and it will take around 7 to 8 hours to completely go through it. But then your whole topic is prepared. That will give you state of the art treatment, starting from the basics. That is my advice.
And then other things they can ask synthesis, other fixation systems, and pros and cons of each one, and what are the guidelines for that. There are guidelines actually. So henceforth, I don't think it can be covered now, but we are telling you, please go through it. But what you have prepared is satisfactory. You have brought it all the equipments and all the parts and everything. I think we can go to the next set of equipment, ma'am.
Thank you.